Hello Marvel Heroes fans, my name is Wilfred Wong and welcome to this channel where you see videos and guides on this free-to-play game called Marvel Heroes. Now, I'm starting a brand new series called the Omega Race because I think for those who has been paying attention to the what's up in the Marvel Heroes world lately, the top of the town, of course, is the Omega system. It's a huge game changer. So this first episode is about the disruption because it has a lot of disruption to the current way of playing and what it really means to be as new player or seasoned player as well. So I would like to address those topic as well. Let me see if I'm okay. And yeah, so I would like to address that and to give a little bit perspective on what it really means to a lot of us who are really passionate playing this game and so on. All right, so now I think just for the benefit for those who may not be pay attention to what Garcinia is doing lately, because some of you may have taken a break and so on, there is a huge change. The Omega system is being changed for this Marvel Hero 2016, and it's not unexpected, of course, because if you think about it, even at the very beginning we were expecting things to happen. But it is not really happening the way that some of you may have anticipated. It's actually quite a disruptive kind of change. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that. Now, the Omega cap has been raised from 7,500 to right now the 10,000. So that is the number one change that we have. And not only that though, I mean the next thing is that it's no longer linear the way that you earn your Omega system, which I thought it was quite a good system. Because if you play Diablo 3, you could be grinding like crazy and Paragon, and it doesn't really happen anything that happen. But it's for Marvel Heroes, for end game kind of thing, you don't really need to it's pretty casual in a way. So it was meant to be a linear thingy, but it's no longer to be so. Now it is going to be curved. What it really means is that if you are a new player, it's a lot faster for you to earn Omega Pawn compared to say the veteran at the higher Omega kind of pawns, right? So like for example, take my wife as an illustration before and after this change. She had about 2002 Omega Pawn, and then after this change, she actually has she has about 4,002, so she earned about 2,000, close to double what she has by just logging into the new system. So she win a lot, of course, on that one. Now, but for the veteran, what it really means is that, like for me right now at 7,500, if I would like to earn some Omega Pawn, it's very slow. It's extremely slow. It's so slow that you don't really see progress at all. And I'll show you a little bit later on some of this what it really means for the veterans and those who were at the higher Omega level, compared to before and after. All right, and also they've changed the way that the notes are being escalated. So in the past, usually the first few notes cost a lot lesser, and the subsequent one is really expensive. So in the past, we could do something like the studying the cost escalation, do not want to pay too much for things that may not worth it and kind of thing. But now they sort of close it all off the window. You don't need to do that anymore. So if you like a note, it makes no difference whether you take 1 point or max it in terms of the cost and efficiency and so on. So there's another one that they've changed it, and I think they have changed a little bit about how the notes are being structured. And there's a new tab called the Interstellar Exploration that mainly benefit the range mantle as well as the hybrid. Hybrid for both the hang on, let me just focus a little bit here. For both range and melee, as well as the hybrid on the damage type as well. So wow, let me just get out, getting a bit hectic here. All right. All right. Okay, so that is some of these really big changes to a lot of us. So why do I mean by the disruption? Now, if you are a new player, that's good news because no longer do you need to spend so much time just to be at the previous Omega cap, 7,500, which I think is more like a soft target in a sense because I think most people will end up somewhere 7,500. It closes a gap between the new player and the veteran, and it's great news. All All right, so that is you know, from zero to 7,500 is a lot faster now, right? But what, of course, affect all of us is what happened after 7,500 to 10,000 region, and that is when the things can get a little bit, you know, dicey, a little bit slow as well. So new player definitely is a big win, and I think it should be the case. I've always been a little bit puzzled about the gap between the main and the so-called new player and the veteran as well. So this is ultimate for Invisible Woman. Right, wonderful. Okay, so but for the veteran, if you are having like you know, the 7,500 or close enough, now what it really means for you is that it's a lot of impact there. That's why I say about the disruption, and you know, the impact are as follow. All right, so it is well, there's actually one A, B, C, D, E. So there are 5 areas that impact veterans a lot, and they are as follow. So the first one is the loss of freedom, of course, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about the loss of freedom in just a little bit, just to you know, sort of like give some context to it. Now, what I really mean by loss of freedom is that in the past, once you reach 7,500 points, you are free to do. You are free to do any game mode, all right? So there's no, I mean, you could just play anything without thinking about the experience point, whether it is worth it or whether it's not worth it. The experience point, it doesn't matter, because you just sort of like play anything you like. You know, XP. You want to raid the Midtown Manhattan? Do it. You know, there's no big deal, because XP doesn't mean anything. So that's freedom number one. Freedom number two is that prestige. If you are already at the Omega kind of cap, you can actually do a lot of prestige if you enjoy that kind of thing. Now, why not prestige while grinding to Omega cap? The reason why is that the prestige doesn't really give you a lot of experience at the low level. So the amount of time you spend versus the amount of like XP you've got is not going to be, you know, a lot. So that is one of the reasons why I also enjoy at the Omega cap, because of this freedom. Another one, of course, you know, you are free to do any non-XP related kind of like stuff. Like for myself, I sort of like, you know, you guys know I stay in the training room for a long time sometimes, and and to be able to sort of like just figure out the build and so on, just spend time, do not really worry about all these things. And by the way, I think Iron Man has done it, and okay, fine, I'm just going through all my heroes and see which one hasn't done it. So yeah, that's one thing I enjoy. Now, of course, is the freedom of using a build that is a maximum DPS. Right now, I'm not using, you know, if I can choose, I'm not using a build whereby I have a maximum kind of like DPS. I'm using a build whereby it's area and it's efficient, and it's a lot of traveling power kind of thing, because I need to get to places faster. And I mean, you know, to be able to freely use a build that really relevant is, I think, is a big win. Rather than like you know, just be constrained by, you know, just the Omega race. And of course, you are free not to play as well. Now, I know it's very controversial in a sense. Sometimes when you play a video game, you may want to say, well, you know, I have enough and I just want to take a break, do some trucking or whatnot. So, you know, you don't feel compelled too much to sort of like play a game, even though you feel bored or not fun. You know, you're free not to play. But with this whole Omega race coming up, and you kind of feel that, wow, you know, I kind of missing out. This event is coming up, and I could just like, you know, sneak in a few more Omega points, because Omega point is such a pain to get. And yeah, I mean, that is basically the total loss of freedom in the sense. By the way, they're still trolling me, telling me that I've earned Omega points, and no, I'm not. I'm still at this pathetic. Let me see. Yeah, so I'm still at this pathetic 7,513. I play like 2 full days on the weekend. I've got 13 points. Anyway, let me pause this video, and because I need to sort of like respec my my Juggernaut, and also, you know, yeah, let's play some Juggernaut. So to continue this topic of veteran versus the new player, I think a lot of us are very used to like a maximum kind of power, or at least, you know, been enjoying at the Omega Max, and sort of like, you know, seeing things from the, you know, up there kind of perspective. And now the field is being leveled in a bit, so that caused a bit of discomfort, of course, for those who has been playing this game for a while, and it's totally kind of like understandable in a sense, but it may not be a bad thing. But I understand that why some may not be feeling too comfortable with this whole thing here. So I mean, that's one thing that another big disruption to those who have been playing this game, and of course, you will feel less powerful now, not because of the note and so on. I mean, the note is one thing, but this is a number you should remember: 4365. That is the number of omega point I put aside for the intelligence, as well as the for the intelligence, as well as the XP as well. So this is the kind of like amount of omega point I put aside just to be able to have play this omega race thingy. So in a way, it becomes very, very realistic that you feel. I mean, I do feel less powerful, definitely, because of the I'm so used to 7,500 omega point. Now I'm having way less because of the power that I'm omega point I picked, and more for the XP, more for the intelligence, right? So that is one thing that that you probably have to take note as well. And let me just come on, man. I think I hit like some obstacle in the. Okay, man. Let me just get rid of this guy. And okay, so that is one. And the also now for the build wise, all right. So I know some of you have been asking me. Oh, let me see ultimate. What it look like? I haven't been playing this Juggernaut for a really long time. Seriously, I mean, if you sort of like right. So I think it's something like that, and the. Right, just try a bit, and like that. Charge. So yeah, so that is one, and the build I'm picking. I think some of you may realize that how come my Ghost Rider is picking certain kind of power, because now if you play this Omega race. Area power is king. You have to go area. You have to travel fast as well. So any traveling power, like the one that I have here, would be good as well, because you need to get to places faster. So the whole gameplay changes if you do this Omega race. I mean, DPS wise, yeah, I mean you will kill the target in maybe 10 or 20% slower. But then guess what? You are much faster in the whole Omega race, and net. You gain. So that is another big disruption there. Now, then of course on the gear wise, you probably focus on something less DPS in a bit. Well, at least I do. I pay attention a little bit more for the intelligence. Like the pet that I'm using. I'm using pet that is +1 to all attribute instead of my +3 fighting, which I usually do, and and so on and so forth. So it's a lot of like disruption there. Sort of like to think about when it comes to this whole Omega race. And I think the next hero I'm going to bring to the so I've done Juggernaut, and I think Kitty Pryde, I think I've done it. What? I cannot switch. I thought I've already left the queue. No? Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean that is the whole disruption part, and okay, Kitty Pryde I can do it as well. I think Loki I haven't done it for the Limbo. Loki, right? So yay! So you see Loki next. Perhaps one of the more important questions is that why is it so important to for this whole Omega kind of like race? Why should you even play for a max kind of like Omega point? Now, I've heard a lot of people who like may have different ideas when it comes to Omega point. Now, the one that you should consider is that your favorite hero changes all the time. Hero get data all the time, but there's only one constant in this game. Two things actually. One is the Omega point, Omega system that you have. Another one is the hero synergy. So of the two, and so that's why I always feel that Omega point is something that is worth working towards, because it benefits both your current as well as future hero. So your favorite may change, based on who is going to be like the next biggest kind of thing. But when it comes to Omega system, you know, whatever you do benefit everybody. So I would strongly say that, yeah, I mean, you know, this whole race is important, right? And the and of course, the, you know, when it comes to reward, right, it's not really just about the when it comes to reward, it's not about the extra 2,500. It's not, right? Because like for me, I'm actually putting aside thousands of Omega points just because I would like to be more powerful. I mean, easier for me to earn the Omega point, right? Everything is intelligence. Everything is, you know, kind of like, you know, XP driven. So, you know, in that regard, my net gain is way more than 2,500. My net gain will be a freedom to use an extra 6,865 points that I could use at my disposal. And I'm telling you, that is going to make me powerful with the kind of points that are being put aside. So, you know, in a way, yes, it is important to have this race. And of course, for someone like me, I miss my freedom. So it is more like, you know, really going back to being able to freely do what I can with this game rather than just thinking about, oh man, that's another kind of branding again. But I think what I'd like to leave you guys to think about, you know, on this whole entire Omega thing is that if you look at history, if you look at how this game is being evolved, this game, say what they like, is being tuned to the Omega Max. You know, those are cosmic gates that some of you are having difficulties in having, and if you are not, you know, at the Omega cap, usually you are kind of disadvantaged. Rating as well, red ray or, you know, those harder ray, they are very much also, you know, being geared towards the you know, the Omega cap as well. I mean, the tuning is to that. If you are not at that level, you may find it a lot harder to sort of like you know, get there, to really get there. So, you know, you may say, yeah, I mean, all these are not important and you can just play a game you like, but that's fine. But you just be prepared from the history of this game is that there may be content whereby lock away from you or you're not that effective in conquering just because you're not at max Omega point. It is true. It is true. I mean, look at all these things that happen. They are tuning towards the Omega point. All right. So I mean, that is just my advice to you all when it comes to the whole Omega race. At the end of the day, it's better question. What's the game, right? Like borrowing Blizzard's kind of like a marketing strategy. I mean, what is your game, right? Would you like to sort of like, you know, just play it as it comes, because there are two types of person, right? Some are less serious and just like have fun, and I don't really care about the whole Omega cap kind of thingy. So long as I'm having fun, I'm fine, right? Why do I even care? But some may say, well, you know, I can only feel rested if I achieve that somewhere that's been set, you know, a virtual targets that a game designer has set for me. And some may say, wow, you know, I like the kind of branding, right? So it depends on what kind of player you are. Are you the one that like take it easy and sort of like, you know, well, you know, I can take a year or 2 years or even 3 years to get there, or if ever, like my wife, she's probably not getting 7,500 anytime soon, even with this whole curve fitting thing here. Or you can say that, well, I mean, you know, I would like to do it like, you know, spend a couple of months, just grind it like crazy, go and do the most boring things and so on, you know, forget about game mode. And yeah, I mean, you know, if that is your game, then again, you know, that is your game to sort of like, you know, for this whole Omega race. And what it really means for me is also like, you know, I think in a video game or MMO kind of you know, classification, I'm sort of like more of an achiever kind of type of gamer. So I would like to be able to. Why am I not at max? I don't know. This whole thing is a little bit buggy. I'm looking at my meter right now, and I'm wondering why my Loki is not having max kind of like illusion, although I've been pumping them out. Funny. Anyhow, so I mean, you know, that is one thing. I mean, that's sort of like, for me, I would like to achieve at least, you know, what the game has designed to be, and then I feel happy and kind of like, you know, free to do anything I like. So that is just myself, and and now I can focus a little bit more about, you know, kind of like doing my kind of a low-key thingy right now. And by the way, I mean, there are a silver lining as well on this whole thing. Now I get to reconnect to all my heroes, and it's really fun actually to sort of like play them all again. Because I'm so used to, I thought I went out. Lag is crazy in this game. So it's really fun to just go back to where, you know, some of these heroes whereby I wouldn't have time to play. Get out, get out. I don't know why, man. This whole lag is just crazy. Still, I don't really like this part of the game whereby the lag for this part of the world is a little bit hard to sort of like swallow. But anyhow, it is what it is. So that is one thing, the silver lining part of it. And also, I mean, maybe I'll be doing more daily kind of like a legendary quest, which I always been wanted to rotate my heroes a little bit to sort of like, to sort of like, just experience different heroes in a more meaningful way. And I always need Omega Point, OD Mark anyway, besides Omega Point, and and for the legendary and so on, and the blessing. I mean, I still need to swap blessing and so on. So, and I mean that is a story of my life. And what else? And probably I'm more compelled to log in more often to play this game. Because now there are something to do. So I think, from a gaming design perspective, it's always about whether you design a game, whereby your player wants. Wow, hang on a sec. Let me just get out. You design a game whereby your player wants, or you design a game whereby you think they need. Because a lot of people, though they say they hate the whole entire Omega kind of like a race thing, maybe that's what they need to sort of like find meaning in whatever doing. But of course, the more philosophical question is that if you wouldn't be, let me just get out, if you wouldn't be playing this game had not been having this so-called like, let me just, let me do ultimate Loki. Wow, this is like, what am I doing here? Oh, this is a jump, is it? Have they changed Loki at all? Like after all these years, it's still like, I always think that, yeah, I've been asking for a charge kind of skill. Now I can sort of like go there, and okay, that's pretty cool. All right, so let me just get rid of this guy first, and before I talk about the more philosophical question, is that what's the timer like? Yeah, so the question really is about if the game isn't fun, even that fun for you to start with, because nothing really changed in this game right now. I thought the toggle is on. I mean, there are cosmic high town, but I find the area is a little bit too big and sort of like, kind of hard to find places and so on. But I mean, if you are not really playing much this game because it is not really that fun to play, but yet you are playing it because they have raised the cap, then, are you sure you are doing the right thing? So I don't know. Anyhow, I've got a lot of other heroes to bring to Limbo. I think the list is continue. I'm working from A. My goodness, this is going to take a while to get through. I don't know whether I'm enjoying or not, but I do enjoy the fact that I got to play heroes that I normally do not play. Anyhow, I'll see you next time. There will be a new episode on the Omega race once in a while when I got something to say. And I mean, next one probably I'll share with you my Omega Pawn system when it comes to this whole Omega race. So see you next time. Good luck with your race. Bye.